you believe.
Yeah.
And I think that it should just be okay for people to believe different things and live their lives how they want to live. Marriage is a man-made
I don't
thing.
care how you live your life as long as it's not put into my children's face. That is your God-given right.
What
right?
are you referring to that's the issue?
Homosexuality in public.
Why?
Because you tell jokes that revolve around stereotypes doesn't mean you're racist.
Let's go there, Matt. I know where you're going with this, and let's do it. Okay.
Okay. Abortion is murder. Homosexuality is a sin. Transgenderism is a mental disorder. Sometimes you need to get your act right before you can choose for yourself.
So,
yeah, that's right. The country needs a restart. Like, my wife is actually disappointed that I do not already have a Trump 2024 flag hanging in the front of our house. Good night. Are we going to get into semantics here over invasion? If you walk onto my property with a firearm pointed at me, most likely you're leaving in a body bag.
and that's some man shit. That's the blood red shit that we're talking about. That's the Trump supporter bullshit. And that's why I'm weak. I'm a leftist weak fuck. Well, Matt, thank you for coming on. You're the first guest that I'm having on without Tristan as my co-host, so I'm a little scared today. I don't have him to lean on.
I mean, it's okay though.
It is, yeah.
I'll be gentle.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. You and I have been talking about doing this for like 2 years now at this point.
Yeah, ever since you started your podcast.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, for different reasons, it just never lined up, but I'm happy that we're doing it today. And we have Patrick behind the camera, and this, I know I said it last episode that it was the nicest setup that we've had ever, but this immediately topped it by like times 2. So if anyone could, I'm just going to take a picture of this. See, look how great that looks. Okay, I'm going to put that in post. But yeah, so I've been wanting to talk to you because we don't have to get into the details of specifically where we work and all that, but we met like 5 years ago at this point.
Yes.
And, throughout those years, we've debated an insane amount of times. We debated through the COVID era, through the Trump leaving office era, George Floyd, yeah. Taylor Swift being the devil, we touched on that as well. Yeah, and there's a lot of things that we disagree on, and we work together very early in the morning. And so we're like yelling at each other at like 5 a.m. about different things, depending on the topic that we just happen to trigger each other with. I don't want this to be a super, like attacking each other kind of debate. The goal with what I want to do is have conversations with people who disagree with me and just try to find like some sort of middle ground. And in the culture of the world today, it seems like you're not allowed to have conversations with people who don't necessarily have the same ideology as you. And I think that's a big problem. And even though we're a small show, I want to be part of the solution to that and start having conversations with people who disagree.
It's called shifting the culture.
That's right. Shifting the culture. And that's what we're doing today, Mr. Smith. So you today, first of all, very beautiful house.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. The version of you I see today is a different version of you that I met in 2019. And you, throughout that time, you were going through this process. So talk me through your position in life at that time, what you've done over the last 5 years, and where you are today.
So, I mean, the short version is When we first met, I had just up and moved. I had left my ex-wife, like I had gotten a divorce, moved up to Montgomery, left a job, literally moved into some like old guy's second floor in Montgomery just to start over, right? To start over fresh. And I shortly thereafter, I gave myself to God and started just, a walk of, I don't want to say redemption, but definitely restoration, like just complete overhaul. Started $8 an hour job, $8.25 an hour. My wife will tease me sometimes. I once tithed $13 because I got $130 check.
That's a good percent out of $130. That's a
10%, bro.
10%. Is that what you do to this day?
Yeah.
10% of everything you make.
Yep. 10%.
Wow.
Goes to him first, man. Goes to him first.
Where does it go to specifically? Is it your church, or is it like specific organizations?
Yeah. So, well, it was my church. Now we changed it to an organization. So we're kind of in a transition period where we're flirting with some new churches and stuff like that.
What made you feel like you wanted to shop around?
So it's not necessarily shopping around. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So we got called away from our church. We're seeking something specific. We don't know what it is yet. We'll know when we find it. But it's also, there's so many churches in this area that are starting up, can definitely use the support, stuff like that. And so we're just trying to find where we fit in right now. Good kids ministry, good worship, all the above. So,
And where does this so you're getting called to a different church. What is that? What is that feeling?
So it's not even necessary. I mean,
if you wouldn't mind, just keep the mic a little closer. They're a little difficult to. I'll cut this out, but yeah, just get, almost good. Like you're going in on
it. You had to go there. No, so definitely. See, you got to make me look cuckoo cuckoo.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to look
television.
No.
No, but so it's not an act. It's as literal as you think. I mean, it's not a phone call. It's not like he rings me on my iPhone. Right. But when you
just an innate feeling,
it's not a feeling. Like he'll tell you it's time to move on, or it's time to go ahead and close this door and find the next. Right. And because part of the growth I'm in right now is being patient in the moment. We're not, I literally ask for just the next step, right? So I don't want to see the whole path. I just want to see the next brick.
Hmm. And when do you know that you've seen where that next step needs to go?
Or he'll tell you. Like it's very clear.
Cause I grew up Catholic my entire live.
Yeah.
I've been around that environment in several different states, just the Christian, and we've had this debate where you put Catholics in a different category from other Christians, but aside from that, I'm familiar with the Christian side of things, and that I've never personally felt that and I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like saying I don't really know what I think, and so I'm acknowledging that I'm not sure about anything. But even whenever I fully identified as a Christian, I don't feel like I've ever had what you're describing about like being told what the next steps are. And that might be where some of my struggle was. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, but I didn't know what to look for. So it could be on me, but I've never had that feeling. And I don't think a lot of people really have.
So here's the thing. I don't put that on you at all. That's never on you. I like you and I have talked about, it's the world around us, right? One of the most common misconceptions, he does speak to you. He speaks very quietly. And that's intentional, right? That's so that you have to close your mouth so that you can listen. You have to stop so that you can listen to what he has to say. We're so busy, myself included, my wife, like we just get into the rat race, right? But that's just it. I mean, it states time after time in the Bible, like you have to stop. You need to stop, take a step back and listen. It talks about Jesus going out in the woods so that he can talk to him. And I mean, we, dad and son, they kind of had a relationship, also one and the same. So if he even had to go out into the wilderness and to quiet to listen to him, sometimes you just have to take a step back.
See, because the thing is that I felt like I did that as a teenager. I have attempted throughout my life, over the course of my life, to speak directly to God or have that connection.
Yeah.
And I took time away. I was alone. I never felt like I received anything from it. And I think that's where my struggle kind of came from.
So, and I mean, by all means, we can dig into this. But no, honestly, so Headspace, right? Like here's what would be.
Acknowledge it.
Is it hot topic? Like, what happened here?
Yeah, I was like, Patrick's changing the lighting in the middle of the episode.
A warning? Like,
yeah. I pissed God off just now.
So intentions, right? Like, and not only it's hard, and especially explaining it. So I'm not going to say, like I said, you did nothing wrong. I believe that people can be taught wrong, misinformed with a lot of things. I mean, hate to be cliche about it, but like, were you reading your Bible, things like that at the same time?
Yeah.
No. So it's going to come down to, like, I think I told you about the parable of the man in the river, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sits there and, people keep trying to save him. And he's like, nah, man, I prayed to God. I'm good. All of a sudden the floodwaters get him. He's up at the pearly gates talking about, yo, what happened? I prayed. And God's like, I sent like 6 people to go save you, man. You just never listened.
Yeah.
So not everyone is going to necessarily hear his voice, because here's the thing, right? You have to learn his voice before you know his voice. Now, once you know his voice, it's like riding a bicycle. It's very easy. You know what you're listening for, right? So you keep in mind, the world is full of noise. That's one of the biggest things I personally struggle with, right? Is shutting down my mind. I've often, compared my brain to the old 90s movie, The Cell. Like, good luck. You want to go in there and survive it? I don't. Like,
yeah.
Hence, my teens and 20s and drug usage to make all that go away. Like, I'll hush the noise however I have to. It's deafening sometimes. So learning, I know for me, it was a long process of learning how to ignore all of that white noise, right? The gibberish, the things that aren't him, and learn which voice to focus on. And not only that, I don't depend on the voice, right? Like, I look for the neighbor who's like, hey, I'm about to leave town because it's going to flood. You want to come with me? Like, yeah, like, let's be smart about this. Cause it's not always, the message isn't always in a bottle, right? You never know where the vessel's going to come from. Like Callie and I'll speak to it with each other. We're each other's vessels, right? He doesn't always speak directly to her. He may use me to speak to her, and definitely vice versa. He uses her as a vessel to, help me in a multitude of ways. So I mean, it's not a black and white answer, right? And I think that's what gets a lot of people is it's not black and white. It is kind of gray, but it's not at the same time.
Right. Were you? I can't remember. Did you grow up Christian, or were you not familiar with God at all?
So I actually grew up Catholic light. I was Episcopalian.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I'm very familiar with the, Catholic way of life, things like that. Episcopalians, the only difference is we can get divorced, right? And it's not that before he go hyping this up, it's not that I ever said Catholics weren't Christians. It is a ideology and doctrine is different. But here's one of the things I've been ignorant in the past. Now that I'm in my biblical studies, I'm learning the difference in the doctrines and things like that. So this same conversation even now will be much different next year, right? Like that's one of the big things, being educated in what you're talking about instead of, me just speaking off the cuff and gibberish, which I have done in the past. I mean, I think everyone's a victim to that. I will speak with my heart a lot of the time and then just kind of hope and pray that there's some valid information behind it. Yeah. Right?
Where do you get your news?
I don't honestly
because you have a lot of fiery opinions.
Yes. So is it social media in general, like blanket social media? I've tried to start following more. I mean, obviously it's hard to get left-wing stuff to show up on my news feed. You got to go through a lot of block content.
You're living in a lot of red over there, man.
Oh yeah. This is the red room. It legit is the red room.
They got a red carpet right here.
Because of the carpet. The kids call it the red room.
I feel a little nervous right now. So one of the questions on here that I wanted to ask you is, what is a hot take that you have? That
I have so many hot takes.
So all right. I know the answer. I think most people who know you know the answer. But who are you voting for this year? The election of 2024.
My wife is actually disappointed that I do not already have a Trump 2024 flag hanging in the front of our house.
That's insane. That's insane. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out where I go with this. So
please tell me, why is it so insane?
So tell me the reasons. Patrick. So tell me I just hit the hot points as to why you think Donald Trump would serve as a good president for the next 4 years and why you voted for him in 2016.
Because Sleepy Uncle Joe ain't the truth. Honestly, that's
but how so? Let's break it down.
I'm a fiscal conservative. When it comes down to it, I'm a fiscal conservative.
But I feel like, so aside from just the policy disagreements, because I typically lean progressive, but I see why people are conservative. I can see the other side of the aisle. It's just an ideology that I don't necessarily believe. And that can be the case with Biden, but I feel like there's an extra layer that you throw on top of there, where you throw the pedophile thing, you throw all this corruption on top of it, other than just having different political views. And it's the irony, I think, sometimes.
The left is the devil.
Okay, there we go. So immediately, okay. So that's a big statement right there.
There's your clickbait.
So yeah, all right. The left is the devil. Conservative Gen Xer found out. You're a Gen X, right?
Yeah, the loss right in between.
You lost.
Yeah, X and millennials.
Do you feel resentment towards millennials for that?
No, I feel sorry for them.
Oh, well, millennials aren't
loss of work ethic. Honestly, that's the biggest difference between like
more of a Gen Z
generation.
Thing,
though. But early millennials or late millennials, I should say, your latter half of the millennials, definitely lazy.
Why do you say that?
Z's. I don't want to say the laziest, but because so the latter half of millennials got this sense of entitlement from somewhere. It's kind of weird, especially growing up in the generation that we did. And maybe it's because we got access to a lot of stuff, right? Like, so I do fit in the generation. Like when I was born, we used rotary dial phones, right? But by the time I was going into high school, you could buy a brick Nokia cell phone. I mean, I guess, you know, early 90s. So probably middle school, late elementary school, we had the big cell phones. Yeah. But I'm talking about like any Joe Schmo could go to the, you know, the Walmarts and buy a prepaid phone by high school. So,
so the left is the devil.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? That's a big statement, and you're lumping a lot of people in that.
So, okay, that's fair. The liberal agenda pushes a lot of anti-Christian propaganda.
Like what? Let's go there, Matt. I know where you're going with this, and let's do it. Okay.
Okay. Abortion is murder. Homosexuality is a sin. Transgenderism is a mental disorder. And pedophiles just don't crack your neck like I'm supposed to be scared.
No.
I feel like he just Googled a whole bunch of responses because he knew he was going to bait me into that.
You don't give me enough credit for having my own responses, and my neck hurt. Okay, so I wasn't trying to seem intimidating.
I really hope Patrick got that.
Fuck. Now I'm gonna look like a dick. I really didn't mean to. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna clip it out.
It's so I won't be as bold as to say all left are the devil, but
I want to. Okay. Homosexuality is a sin.
Yes.
So I think you can have your own personal beliefs, but I think when it comes to the way you think the government should be ran for the general public, I think that is when I don't think that should be in effect for the general. Like, I don't think homosexuality should be illegal or anything. Do you think? And you know, there's a lot of.
So, you know, I believe that marriage is a Christian foundation. Like, I don't even necessarily believe the government should be involved in marriage. I think the marriage should be a union between a man, a woman, and God.
So I don't think the woman thing has anything, the man-woman thing has anything to do with it. It's a bond between two people. And marriage as a whole is not a Christian-made thing. It was made by humans.
No, it was made by God. It was given to us by God. Man and woman were meant to be as one.
According to your text that you refer to. But generally, marriage, the institution of marriage was made by man. And I think that's why Christians get a bad rap, is that you're, not you specifically, but Christianity can tend to exclude a lot of people from being invited to the table.
Here's the thing. It's never exclusive. It's inclusive.
But not really.
Yes, though. Because you come as you are. Like literally any of the, and
not really though.
An old school mentality. I will bring you to any of the churches that I visit and that I go to and that I have attended and that I will attend in the future. You come as you are. It does not matter. Like, but literally that's
it's doctrine. It's telling them that the way they think and the way they feel is inherently wrong, and they're wrong for participating in that. And I think we disagree on this. I think if you're gay, you're born that way. I don't think it's this disease or issue that needs to be cured. And I think you and I aren't gay. We don't know exactly how they feel. They know how they feel. Same thing with transgender people. They know that it's who they are. Transgender people feel like they're in the wrong body.
How do they know?
Because they know. The same way that you know that God talks to you, they have this. You just know. I just know I'm not attracted to you.
You know God's not.
Even though you have a really nice beard.
Thank you. You know God's not the only one who can talk to you, right? God's not the only one that can whisper in your ear.
But why are you so sure that it's the devil whispering in your ear?
Because God wouldn't have you do that. It's biblical. Why not? Because it's literally biblical.
It's biblical, but there's a lot of people who don't believe that Christianity is the main religion.
And guess what? It's a lot of space in hell.
That's the thing. So there are billions of people who don't believe in that version of God.
Pray. Now, I don't know each and every one of their names. Pray all. I think we're up to like 7 billion. All 7 billion are able to come up. Because guess what? There's room there too. And at the end of the day, I've read the final chapter. I know who wins. I'm not worried about it. But the point is to get
the thing is that they all have
there as possible. That's literally the point, right?
They have their books. They have their ways for the way society was created. They have their
Germany
beliefs.
also has books that say World War II never happened.
Well, sure. I mean, that's true. But I don't think that's a fair comparison. But there are tons of people who
eternal life versus the Holocaust. The Holocaust is really, really terrible, but eternal is eternal.
Right. But there's a lot of people who are just as sure as you are about what you believe.
Yeah.
And I think that it should just be okay for people to believe different things and live their lives how they want to live. Marriage is a man-made
I don't
thing.
care how you live your life as long as it's not put into my children's face.
And what are you referring to there?
Anything and everything. I do not want it in my children's face. If you do whatever you want in the sanctity of your own home, that is your God-given right.
Well, what are you referring to? That's the issue.
Okay. Let's just go there, right? Homosexuality in public. Like, I don't want it on my, by all means, if you want to make a gay channel, because I don't.
There's enough representation for heterosexual relationships in culture everywhere.
Cool.
I think the representation for gay people and trans people is a good thing. So that
not for my kids.
Why not though? If they're straight, they're going to be straight. They're not going to be convinced to be gay or trans. That's not like
don't
how
go
that
there.
Works.
Because you know as well as I do that it has become a fad.
No.
To certain extent.
No. It's more talked about, and I'm sure there are some people that have fallen. No, yes.
No.
There have been some people, of course, that will fall victim to that. But if you look at the actual stats of people who regret transitioning after the fact, it's like
I'm not even talking about
1%.
transitioning. I am literally talking about the fad of how it's cool to be gay.
Okay. All of that gets lumped up in the same thing.
But I'm not saying everyone who says they're gay is falling into that fad. I'm just saying that fad exists.
But the thing is that it would just be a fad, and if a child is confused, then they would just figure out like, oh no, I'm not actually gay. But they're just kind of exploring themselves, It's not like they're not going to be convinced to be like, you know what, actually, I want to be gay now. And I'm going to be gay for the rest of my life. And that's just the way I'm going to.
I mean, I don't think it's quite that cut and dry, but I do believe they can be convinced. Like,
how so though? Because
like I just said, because it's cool, right? Mainstream media, social influencers,
but is it
things
really
like
cool?
that?
Because most of the stories I see are just people getting attacked for being that way. It's not really talked about. And I think the representation that you see is a small fraction of what the representation for heterosexual.
But vice versa with that. I don't think if you go down, okay, we are in Montgomery, Texas. It is very red here. Once it gets closer to the election, we literally will hold weekly Trump train
I know.
mafia drives. Like, it's real. You are not going to get beat up if you may get looked at crazy if you stand on a soapbox in a corner in downtown Montgomery trying to get beat.
That's not true. There's a really good chance that they would get beat. Hate crimes happen all the time. Right? I'm not tripping.
When is the last time you heard of one?
I can't not one doesn't come to my mind right now, but there are hate crimes against people all of the time, against minorities.
I'm a minority.
How?
What do you mean? Actually, I am.
You're a minority?
As a Christian?
So? Okay. Not really, though. When you're looking at the percentages of Christianity is still the biggest religion inside the United States.
Okay, inside the United States, but barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
What is it, like 49% of people identify as Christian in the country?
It's like 46, yeah.
What do you attribute to people year over year? It seems like less people, more and more people are kind of leaving Christianity, leaving the church.
I mean, I don't want to lean into it, but I mean, the end times.
Do you blame it? So you think we're approaching that?
I think if without, sounding like one of those doomsdayers, like if you read the final chapter,
so do you think Biden
it's looking kind of weird?
Do you think Biden plays into that? Do you think he's a part of that story that if he wins the election?
I don't know that. No, I'm not going to go as far as to be like one of those.
I'm just trying to get a feel.
No. I'm not trying. I'm not going to lean in and be like I'm one of those occult. No. I don't know what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. My reasons for not wanting him in for another 4 years are, like I said, my money reasons. At the end of the day, it comes down to my money reasons.
What do you say to the point of the things that he's doing with taxes and like the high gas prices weren't directly related to him, but everything is connected, obviously.
Gaskets cheaper when we open up gas.
You're talking about the pipeline?
Any of it. Right. When we create more jobs, when we allow it to happen, gas gets cheaper, especially here in Texas.
Well, Biden has created more jobs inside the United States than Trump did during his presidency. And Biden's not even done with his 4 years yet. But yes, things are more expensive now. But when you look at like what Trump did, and I know you say it's not a big deal. I'm not putting the entire January 6th, right? No, I'm not talking about his entire the January 6th riot being fully his fault. He definitely leaned into it, though, and he encouraged those people to go to the Capitol. And if he had it his way, according to his vice president, he would have had the election overturned, which would completely dismantle democracy. That was a definite
coming
thing
from
that
the
he was
side
trying
that
to
cheated.
do. What are you talking about? So you're going to make claims, you need to back it up, okay?
Vote in person. That's all I'm saying.
Mail-in vote in person. That was such a fake conspiracy thing. Yeah. The fake ballot, the dead people voting thing that you talk about, that was like someone who sent in a mail-in ballot and then died before the election, or like someone who has like
a lot of people that died before the election.
And or if it's like John Sr. and then John Jr. and then like someone accidentally votes as the other person. That's how you see like those double ballots. But there was no evidence, and it had been litigated by Republican judges, by leftist judges appointed by Donald Trump, and there was no proof of any sort of election fraud at all.
And I'll accept that. I'm not going to die on a hill and be like, no.
Well, so why do you think they cheated then if there was no?
Because they did.
Well, how so?
I don't have to have the proof right here to know what happened.
But I mean, you have to have a general idea, right?
Conspiracy theories aren't conspiracy theories because they can be proven.
But then, like, where does logic come in, though? But like, where does like where do we find a center point where we can both like say like, okay, this is truth and valid, but like, there's no. Make it very difficult to be able to find middle ground when you say, oh, it's a conspiracy, so you don't need to have proof, but you can still say it as fact, you know.
I'm not saying it as fact, though. I'm saying it as my opinion. You asked for my opinion. You didn't ask for me to Google.
Well, I'm just asking. No, facts. I get it. I'm just asking. Like, no. I'm just saying, like, I'm just asking why you have that opinion. What brought you to that opinion?
37 years of being on this earth.
I'll move on. All right. So I don't know where to go with that.
For my opinion.
That's what you're on the show for, Matt. I'm getting your opinion now.
And I'm giving you my opinion.
All right. You know what? Noted. Now I know. I just can't ask you why. Okay. I just can't ask why.
I gave you a why. You just didn't
So-
like the why. Because that's what I believe.
Would you have accepted it? You know, you say you're a patriot.
If Trump won?
You say you're a patriot.
Yes.
You say you care about freedom.
Yes.
You say you care about democracy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If Trump illegally overturned the election, like it got kind of close to doing, would you have said like, yeah, fuck yeah, Trump is the guy?
As long
I'm
as he
cool with
took
that.
down the whole establishment at the same time, 100%.
Well, then that would immediately make him a dictator.
Sometimes you need to get your act right before you can choose for yourself.
So
Yeah, that's right. The country needs a restart.
and a dictatorship is the way to do that.
So first of all, we don't even need a dictatorship. We need every one of us to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, take up arms exactly like the Second Amendment tells us to, and take back this country from all of them. All of them. They're all dirty, crooked politicians.
I agree with that. There is a
single
yeah.
one of them.
There's a
There's
systemic
an agenda.
issue.
There's an
Mhm.
agenda behind every single
And
one of
I
them.
also believe in the deep state. Like that is a big problem.
So
But-
understand also that is one reason why I will stand behind Trump, because he doesn't need any, whatever it is that he wants is for his own self-fulfillment. Like he doesn't
Right, but how
have
do you-
anybody paying for his opinion. That is his true, honest to God, born and raised
Trump's a grifter.
American.
Trump's a grifter.
opinion.
Trump's a grifter. He was a Democrat up until he decided to try to get into politics, and he was on record saying that he was going to become Republican because Republicans are dumber and will fall for it.
And I was a drug addict until I was like 33.
Sure, but like I think
I
you
smoked-
fixing your life from a thing that was clearly and showing you in your face that was bringing you down a wrong path, and you fix that. That doesn't change your, like, we're talking about ideology.
Yeah,
Trump
it does.
was an older man, still a Democrat. You're not just going to randomly.
I literally have satanic, devil worshipping tattoos all over my body.
Right, but I don't think that's like a correct comparison.
You
though.
just said ideologies can't change. That's the
I'm not saying-
definition.
So I'm talking
of
about
ideologies
so
changing.
You're right. I should have been more clear. I'm talking about political ideology, the way you feel like the government should run.
You don't think I was a Democrat when I was doing drugs?
I'm not. Okay, you know, that's a mute point. Okay, but whenever I'm talking about Trump being a full grifter, I mean, he absolutely is.
Guess what? He wears a toupee too. Like he sends mean tweets out at 2 a.m. Cool. Like,
Right. But like, I just have a hard time.
he's the only one whose agenda is not paid for.
But it kind of is, though, in the sense that, like, he has to do things in a certain way to appeal to a very specific group of people.
What very specific group of people? The American people?
No, he's not trying to. He's trying to appeal to his base. But even so, like, my personal opinion.
You mean like me?
Oh, I didn't say it. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
Yeah, like the thing is that, I saw this news article maybe like 6 months ago about like where Trump supporters get their news and who they trust more.
Fox.
With their, well, no. They believed people would trust, you know, like a tweet or a truth from Donald Trump over their religious leaders, over their political leaders, over their family, over other news sources. And so I think it's a problem. And I'm not saying that you're in a cult, but that is a very cult-like mentality to have when you have an entire sector of people that will just listen to what one man is saying is happening, when all around it there are actual facts being thrown around about like why those things aren't true.
because a gaggle of people are stupid.
Right, but like, do you not take like Trump's opinions as truth?
It depends on the topic.
Right.
Like, it depends on what he's talking about. No. Am I going to sit here and die on a sword and be like, every word that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth is fact?
Well, it kind of seems like that. You know,
No.
like if Trump overturned the election,
Yeah.
then you said that you would be okay if Donald Trump ran things.
I hate high gas prices. I hate high interest rates. I hate inflation.
Those are all going down. Inflation, everything is going down. And Biden took over at the end of the COVID pandemic when a lot of money was being spent.
I have a past in petrochem. My dad still works in petrochem. So yeah, oil and gas being affected obviously kind of gives me feels too.
And that's fair. And I think all of that is a problem as well. But I don't. Those things are being corrected, and I think that Biden inherited a economy that was torn to shreds because of COVID, and there was a lot of spending being done, started by Trump as well, which I think was a good thing that Trump started the payments to families that were unable to go to work. That was a good thing that he did, and Biden continued that and then some. And there was a lot of other spending that was being done. I'm sure you think it was way too much.
I didn't get no COVID money.
I did. And I spent it on things I didn't need. Just kidding. What?
Yeah, you really got COVID money?
Yeah, I got a year later though. I didn't get it till the end of 2021 on my taxes.
You got bump ours because we had kids, but it was literally just kids.
Yeah, that's fair. But
look at this guy.
Hello, gentlemen. Yeah.
How's it going?
I like the little. So it's going good. I can barely see y'all. Y'all are very pixelated.
Yeah, you're on my hotspot right now.
Wait, why couldn't you log on to my internet?
It said it wouldn't work for whatever reason, but I just connected it to my hotspot. It wasn't a big deal.
That's a you issue, boo boo.
Yeah. How you doing, Tristan?
I'm good. Wanted to pop in because I miss Matt. What are you gentlemen talking about?
I miss you too.
We're not talking about anything serious at all or anything controversial. That's not.
He roped me in. I didn't rope shit in. I was trying. I
asked a simple question, and then you went in about all of the topics that. All in like 10 minutes.
He leaned into the question.
He said the left is the devil.
Yeah, I did say that.
Hell yeah.
Immediately followed by there's your clickbait.
You know Tristan is leaning more right and right as time goes on.
Yeah, most people who like start making good money and things like that.
Well, Tristan's jobless. No offense. I'm not.
Whoa, dude.
Bro, you're not doing HVAC anymore?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I bet that job sucks though.
He's getting beefy. He's hitting the gym a lot.
Hey, me too.
People start leaning more right whenever they start actually understanding what they're talking about. And
you're such a dick. That's
okay.
Dick.
I keep joking. Like I keep telling Callie, I was like, I'm getting scared. She's like, why? I was like, because I'm having urges. And she's like, what kind of urges? And I was like, to watch World War II documentaries.
Oh,
I'm there.
If you like history, it's early onset conservative.
Yeah,
bro, right. I'm there.
Early onset. Tristan's experiencing that right now.
It's fun. All I need is a rocking chair on my front porch, cup of coffee at 5 o'clock in the afternoon going, these kids.
That's where you're at right now. That's where you're at right now.
I have 4 of them. They're all under 13. Like, no, I'm not.
Fair. Okay.
How is Matt liking the podcast life?
I like it,
dude. You should see it. This is Patrick brought his tripod this time, so it's like we got like it looks like an actual set, and Matt has this.
Is Patrick there too?
Really nice media room. Yeah, Patrick, poke your head in real quick. Say hi to. Oh, you're holding your camera. Okay, Patrick, he's busy right now being a
Patrick's here. I mean, Jacob could get up and like turn the computer, but.
That's right. I don't know why I didn't.
Jacob, put your hog away, dude. That's a big old pig.
Sorry,
bro, I'm glad you said something about those shorty shorts. I was wondering if it was just like a me thing. I was like,
these were all I had in my car. Okay, I got off work today.
He literally found the shortest shorts and then cut 3 inches off the bottom of them.
Look, Matt, I know you're not like part of like hip culture now, but the shorts are in. Okay, they are in. Actually, and also, I would have worn pants.
I actually have a pair of like 5-inch seam.
So why are you talking shit?
Because I wear them to bed with my wife.
Fair, and I'm wearing them to bed with you right now.
No.
Okay. Moving on. Well, Tristan, why aren't you here right now?
Because my girlfriend just got home. That's why I joined.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah, because not only am I unemployed, but I'm also carless.
How's your workout journey going?
It's going okay. I'm excited. Matt, did Jacob tell you that he's going to be my workout partner in the mornings now? He's going to start grinding.
Snap.
Yeah, I'm training for a 5K in a couple months, just to get back into running.
When are you doing this 5K?
July, probably. I'm gonna find something in July.
You know, Callie and I walk 3 to 6 miles a day.
That's awesome.
5 days a week.
Yeah, I ran. Yesterday was the first time I ran, and I did 2 miles at a 5:30 pace. So I was pretty. It was the first time I'd ran since my daughter was born, but so I feel confident about doing a 5K. That's what my brother and I are doing it together.
No, I just want to complete it. I'm not worried about time.
I want to have a good time.
I have a 15-minute mile at best.
That's fair. But next year in 2025, I really want to compete in the Houston Marathon. That's going to be one of my goals. So I'm going to ramp up all the running this year. Yeah,
nice.
But weights is something I really struggle with, and I definitely can't do it on my own. So Tristan goes to Josh's house in the mornings. So I'm going to meet up with him a few days a week and meet up with him before work, because once work is done, I don't have any energy, and I'm just focused on hanging out with my daughter.
That's literally when I work out.
In the morning?
No.
After work?
After work.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, do 10 hours at work, come home, literally pop my pre-workout, chug my pre-workout between 2 and 2:30.
So you don't rest, you just get home and immediately go and do it.
Yeah. Pop my pre-workout as soon as I get home. That way I don't have a chance to rev down. Bro, it starts going, lift weights, usually by 3:30. Callie and I can go walk till 5 when we got to go pick up the babies.
Mm.
Yeah. We have ourselves a nice little routine.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
You guys both look so great.
Appreciate it.
You guys look awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. What you got for the rest of the night, Tristan?
I might jerk off. I already ate dinner, so probably just lay down. I'm reading.
Isn't Julie home though? Why would you have to jerk off?
I'm a virgin. We're not married. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right. You like that, huh?
Stupid.
You like that, Matt. You like that. You like that. Not like that.
Liar, pants on fire.
What the hell? But no, I'm reading a book right now.
Oh wow, that's awesome. What book is it? Dune? Oh wow, nice.
That's what I'm doing.
Did the movie inspire you to read the book?
Mm-hmm. This is what the next one's supposed to be over, and I don't want to wait 3 to 5 years for the movie. So it's I'm going to read what happens next instead.
When's the last time you read a book?
High school, I want to say.
I'm in the same boat. I just started. I started reading. I forgot the name of the book. I'm 50 pages in. It's Reacher. No. Never mind. Moving on to the next thing. I forgot the name.
Actually, I didn't read a book. Actually, never read a book.
Yeah. Actually, I was lying about the whole thing.
I do audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
I hate reading.
Yeah, I struggle with it, but I'm on my phone a lot, and so I started reading the book because it was a nice reset to just read something off of a page rather than a screen. And it reactivated this part of my brain. It sounds so stupid for people who just read books on the regular, but being able to read something and then all the stuff just appears in your brain. It's something I haven't exercised in forever. So it was really fun to do that.
Some people can't see pictures when they think. It's actually a type of thinking you can do. Some people aren't capable of it. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine.
That blows my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, where they have no imagination.
Right. It's whenever I think, I can hear a voice in my head. I can hear myself think. But there's just people who don't have that voice inside of their head. They just do not instinctually, but I guess that, for lack of a better word, they just
Okay.
do what they have to do next.
But so here's my question to that, just because. So does it play out like a play? Does it play out like a TV show, or does it play out like a movie, or does it play out like real life?
Right. I don't know.
I'm talking about like for yourself. I think each person's different, right?
Oh, for me specifically.
So like, okay, so you and I are both cinephiles. Like, we love movies. So generally speaking, like, my imagination goes more towards like cinema, right? Like, it's not like TV shows, shortcuts, whatever, plays, real life, but on stage there's real life,
Right. Yeah. I guess it plays out, like a movie. Like, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how mine plays out, like a movie. Big movie guy over here.
Yep.
Yeah. Big Marvel movie guy. Bet you like this, Tristan. Bet you like this shit. Yeah.
Stupid. Matt, did you see the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer? That's pretty sick. I don't know if you watched the Marvel movies.
Of course I watched the Marvel movies. Wait, which one?
The Deadpool and Wolverine trailer?
Oh, I haven't seen the newest one.
Tristan's embarrassed to be a Marvel fan right now because
Why?
they've been taking a lot of L's. But
Marvel's been shitty, but lately they've been good. They have a new X-Men 97 series that's running right now, where they rebooted the 90s series. X-Men.
Oh, I didn't know
Is
that.
they keep trying to reboot crap instead of just what was working, like, let it keep working. They're like, no, let's kill everyone and die and start over.
Right.
Either write it until it falls off, or don't complain about when it does fall apart.
Right. Yeah. Do you think they should have stopped making movies after Endgame? Or
No, we've got a lot of good things out of it. It just Marvel hasn't been as good as it should be, because they kind of got comfortable after Endgame and all that with being so great and being so awesome. They think, I can just put out anything and it'll be fine. And
That's what I'm saying.
They shit out and keep making money.
Yeah, they didn't have to. They shouldn't have. Like, they should keep up. Like, I keep hearing rumors that they're bringing RDJ back. Good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So what? He wanted $50 million a movie. He makes you like $5 billion a movie.
Yeah,
bring him back.
That's within budget for him, for sure.
I mean, if we're being honest, right? Like, and there's so many arts that, like, if they really want to make money, like, okay, go down it. Like, go down that rabbit hole. You set it up for so many movies and never followed through. But I also have the same complaint about DC. Like, completely missed not doing the Robin saga after Dark Knight. That is such a terrible miss, not doing Nightwing.
Right.
Like, you had it set up with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who would have been amazing, bro.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. And still had a young enough Christian Bale to be able to, pull him back when, oops, one didn't do so well, so let's bring him in for two.
I think Christian Bale didn't want to do Batman. I think they asked him to do more Batman stuff, and he didn't want to do it.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp said he'd never do Pirates of the Caribbean again.
And then they added across the table.
I was gonna say, then they added another 0 to it, and he was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, no, that's true. I guess there is a price tag on anything, for the most part, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Tristan, what else is on your mind today?
It's okay to be a Republican, Tristan. Just so you know that
it's
okay.
It is.
It is okay. It's okay.
Tristan's slowly allowing. I think Tristan's afraid to admit that he's a Republican in front of me. So I think he's like slowly introducing himself.
You're aggressive towards people who are like don't have the same views you do.
That is crazy coming from you, Matt. That is the most ironic thing I've ever heard in my entire life, actually. That's hilarious. Okay. Wow.
I'm neither. I've already said it a million times. Obviously, I'm leaning more towards the right side lately because of Josh and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not educated enough on any political things at all to say whether I'm this or that. So I'm excited to actually educate myself and come up with my own opinion on it.
Yeah,
that is
that's great.
amazing place to be.
Yeah, for sure.
To not let anything influence,
Right, Matt.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
I made up my own mind. That's
I did too. And you think
up,
that I didn't. And then I'm just following this leftist wing.
The whispers in your ear. I do think you listen to the whispers in your ear.
What do you mean?
What
whispers are in my ear that aren't in yours? I'm just kidding. What whispers are in my ears that are convincing me of my beliefs?
All of your left wing propaganda.
That's hilarious because it's a little difficult for you to accuse me of that when you get all of your opinions from social media. And I feel like you don't know where I get my news sources from.
Majority of my opinions, if that's what you want to call them, from the Bible.
Okay.
We like to call them facts.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a base core fundamental that I follow.
Yeah.
And
I like to,
if it doesn't align, then I'm not going to co-sign.
Right. And I like to think that I watch news sources that lean both ways. I listen to conservative-minded people. I listen to debates between both sides. So I don't think there's as many voices in my ear as you think. So I think, unfortunately for you, I'm just actually a lefty. Unfortunately, I don't think I know that's like one of your goals is to
people
make me go on the right path. And I just think I am a lefty. And I just think that's just, I don't know why that sounded zesty whenever I said that, but.
Because you even threw in the arm flare.
I'm just a lefty, guys. I'm not helping the left side right now by doing that at all.
Remember when you were hoping I'd lean into it, but instead you're owning it today,
and not even like intentionally.
I feel like I wish I had a closet you could come out of right now. Like you are so excited.
I'm so close, dude.
Like you are so excited about. I'm a leftist.
I was just saying
we've known for years, bro.
I was just making a point that like I feel like in all of our debates over the years, you've made it like you made comments about like how you want me to see the right path, and that's you want me to go down the right path because you see. I feel like the impression that you've given me is that you think I'm just confused about what life is and my opinions, and so I'm just getting them from other people. When in reality,
not people.
I have. Yes. What? Say that again?
I said not people, but yes. I mean, maybe vessels, but...
You know what? I'll put a pin in that one.
Yep.
When in reality, I think I'm just progressive leaning. I experienced both sides. I grew up in a household that was very conservative. And as I got older, I started to just kind of lean more and more left. With that being said, I still feel like I try to look at things from an objective point of view. There are still things on the conservative side of things that I fully am down with and agree with, and that I think is, like I can see why conservatives believe the way they do. I think whenever the religion side of things come into it, when the opinion is that religion should be involved in politics, I think that's where I start to have an issue. I think those should be separate because there are many different types of religions out there. And there are many different types of people out there who believe different things. And I think a government that is trying to support, as in the U.S., 350 million people, I think it's a good thing to not have a government that leans to a religious perspective, because we have history to show us why that is not a good thing and why religion being involved in the government is the death of the government. And that's why most empires were founded on religion, and they fell. And
once again, we can both agree that the government needs to fall. So
like, what is your dream world? Like, if things went right for you in the next 5 years, what is a dream world for Matt Smith in the United States?
Like where the United States would be?
Yeah, let's say after the election.
A church on every street corner, 350 million believers, like working on being the best versions of themselves they can be each and every day.
But in this,
and so I'm also going to add to that, like there also seems to be this ideology that Christians are perfect, right? Or so yes, we strive to be better, but at the same time, like there's a lot of us who like, I am a sinner. I know I'm a sinner. I have to die to my flesh every single day. Like it's not about, it's about just being the better person in that moment to moment, right? It's not, I'm not worried about 5 years from now. Like we were talking about earlier, I'm literally worried about that next stepping stone. That's it. When you start worrying about all that, you're worrying. Worrying's not of God. Like you don't.
I mean, that's fair. I think that, but I think also at the same time, you can have like this ideal, like world and the things that you want to see out of the world,
Then we're in heaven, right? Or,
but you should still want things on earth to be
why
good, right?
No, if it's there, because technically the good is after Revelations and he scorches it and we all come back.
Right. But before the Revelations, so like in this Christian government, what happens to the people that don't believe and that choose not to live life in that direction?
The same thing that, I mean, you act like it's any different than how it is now. People kind of do what they want, right?
Right. I was just asking about an ideal world.
I mean, you can't force that's the whole thing with Christianity, right? You can't force someone to be a Christian. The whole ideology behind it is the belief, the faith. It's blind faith. It's not just faith, it's blind faith. Being willing to listen, take that next step without knowing what that next step looks like. It's literally tithing 10% of a $130 check, knowing that you need $210 to survive until the end of the month. But just off of blind faith, you're going to take that $13 that you really could use. You're going to tithe it. And then somehow you go to check the mail. There's a $92 check in there from an insurance claim that you filed 4 years ago that you didn't even give them your forwarding address yet. Somehow that check's in the mail. Like, I mean, we're and that's just it, right? We're not, you want proof? There's living proof. You just have to talk to people. And that's the thing. And my heart hurts for the people who yearn for that kind of supernatural encounter, right? You were asking me about that before. And I don't have an answer to that. I don't. It makes my heart hurt. I wish that everyone who truly believed with their hearts knew and took that leap of faith, had those divine moments. If not for, a very supernatural encounter myself, I'd probably still believe the same things I used to believe, live the same way I used to. It took a divine encounter for me to realize, like, oh, whoopsie. And so,
and what was that encounter like?
What was it like?
Like, what was your experience with that?
So, I mean, used to be a Satanist. My belief was that I'd already sold my soul to the devil. My ticket to hell was stamped. If you wronged me here on earth, I was going to see you down there. The devil was going to have a room waiting with those people in it for me to have my time. And if he didn't, then I'll knock him off his throne, take it for myself, and just, do what I do down there.
What brought you to Satanism? What was the path there?
So I was in like I said, grew up Episcopalian, went to church, went through confirmation classes, used to do Wednesday night. What am I trying to think of? Wednesday night choir. I was in a bad car accident and ended up in the hospital. I was a straight A student too. Ended up in the hospital. literally ended up getting staph infection. Literally ended up getting like a staph infection, stuff like that. Basically, I was told I was never going to play sports again. That's really all I had. I had a traumatic childhood before that. So literally, like in the hospital, kind of like, F you, dude. Like, you really could have watched out for me on this one. F you.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the situation like it was, I should have died. But instead I had a leg injury. I hit a tree going 85 miles an hour.
Yeah. That's amazing that you're alive right now.
Yeah.
Should
Should have died. And so my cousin had already put a seed in my head the year before, about Satanism, the Book of Shadows, Marilyn Manson, stuff like that. And just kind of fell into the cult, right? Like, you want to talk about cult, that whole like mindset is a cult to me. And literally lived that way. And you talk about leaning into it, like, oh yeah, go ahead, wrong me here. I got you in hell. Like that's going to be my time to shine. Until, it was Callie. We'll just cut the foreplay. It was Callie. Told me, and this is after I had already, I'd started questioning life choices and things like that, where I become, just going through a divorce, just really questioning life choices. And Callie heard me telling that to someone that, I'm going to hell. There's nothing I can do, right? I've already sold my soul to the devil. And Callie asked me, you asked God that question? Like, have you asked him? He's the one that makes that decision. And I'm like, I kind of laughed her off. Right. And it took a couple days, but I was outside. It's 4:00 in the morning, chain smoking cigarettes, chugging a Monster, literally looked up in the sky. I picture it like it was yesterday. And asked, like, is she serious? Like, what does she mean that I'm not going to hell? And he showed me, like, he literally snatched me up and showed me what happened, like, when I was a kid, through his eyes, though, right? Like, not the way I see him. The way he saw the world, the way, what he protected me from. And that even includes selling my soul to the devil. Like, literally watching him wrap his protection around me and tell Satan himself, this one's mine. And not allow me to, ignorantly sell my soul to the devil.
Right.
Now, allowed me to think that I had for 15 years, because we have free will and we have to make the choice to come to him. He will not make us. If he wanted to, he could snap his fingers and we'd all be mindless zombies, right? He's omnipotent. He's omnipresent. All he has to do, Mr. Incredible style, snap his fingers, right?
Say Mr. Incredible.
That's not a.
It's like, wait a second.
No, I'm just because he, it's a nod to Tristan. I see him over there. But yeah, like, for real. I mean, it's one of those, literally, just, he could make all of us, but he gave us free will.
Well, that's a great experience.
And Jacob chose to be a liberal.
Wow.
Facts.
I don't like there's like a news pause So like when I say something, there's like 2 seconds before y'all like respond, and it's the worst when I make a joke. It's just silence for a few seconds, and it's just awful. I just
That's
wanted
okay.
to share that.
I want to mess with Jacob's audio now.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Tristan, do you have any questions for Matt?
Nope.
All right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think getting into religion, finding yourself that way, and I think it's even if it's something I don't agree with, it's not like my path. At least I don't think it is yet, as Matt says. I think it's good that it's had a positive impact on his life, whether
For sure.
he's right or whatever. That's not the point. I think it's definitely improved, and I've heard stories of Matt's past. I've heard some of the things he's had to go through, and now he has a beautiful family. He has a great job, and he's doing good for himself. And if he's saying it's Christ and it's God and it's all that, that's fantastic. And who am I to say that that's wrong or anything? I think
Amen.
It's a great thing for him to have.
Definitely. And seeing like, man, I met you in 2019. What you've built for yourself over the last 5 years is incredible to see.
Yeah, I owned nothing when he met me in 19.
Yeah, you're making $9 an hour as a team member with me, and he was my boss for like a month. Yeah, for a month, and then he quickly shot up past me. But yeah, I mean, it's really we disagree on a lot, but I really enjoy talking with you because I think at the end of the day we can have there's a mutual respect for each other. Part of it's because we've known each other for so long, but we both care about each other. Yeah, and it's okay to have different beliefs. Yeah, than other people. And now I have different beliefs with Tristan since he's a so blood red Republican.
Good night.
I'm gonna see a Trump flag in the background here like next week.
I mean, I do have a black American flag hanging in my garage.
I'm sure you do.
You do know what it means, right?
A black American flag
just means we're going to stand our ground. That's literally all it is. This isn't, in other words, invaders.
Shoot to kill.
No, that's red.
Fuck yeah,
that's red.
What is
an all red American flag? That means you do not take hostages. You do not take prisoners.
What's the black mean then? What do you do then?
We're going to stand our ground. In other words,
kill them motherfuckers. That's what.
if you attack my family in my home,
invade them first
with extreme prejudice. Invade is invade. Oh, good night. Are we going to get into semantics here over invasion? If you walk onto my property with a firearm pointed at me, most likely you're leaving in a body bag.
And that's some man shit. That's the blood red shit that we're talking about. That's the Trump supporter bullshit. And that's why I'm weak. I'm a leftist weak fuck. And
the man walks into Jacob's house with a gun? Jacob's leaving in a body bag.
Yeah, I'm going to take the gun from them and then shoot myself in the head with it.
Please don't do that.
My flag's
That's what I'm going to do.
Brother.
Please don't do that.
Ending it. I'm terrified.
That's right. I'm scared as shit. Take everything from me. Take everything.
I'm pissing and shitting myself. My flag's yellow and brown, brother.
No, you'd be shocked to find out I own a gun, Matt.
Till his girlfriend made him sell it.
She didn't make me sell it.
Oh, you got to keep it?
I got to keep it.
Home protection.
That's right. That was non-negotiable for me.
I mean, and honestly, the world's crazy. Like left, right, center.
There's some crazy people.
Brown,
yeah.
White, yellow. It does not matter. This world is crazy.
Yeah. And I want to get to, I wish the country would get to a point again where, I mean, obviously I was a kid in like the 2000s, but it seemed like it was okay. Yeah, that's right. My parents were both friends with, my parents were friends with Democrats. They were friends with Republicans, Independents. It felt like it was okay to know people and just accept that they have different political beliefs, but everything is so polarized now.
Feelings, right? Let's get into it. It's feelings. People's feelings are somehow now registered on a level. dude, they're just feelings. Like, one, get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not innocent, right? Like, that's like, I
It's both
literally
sides,
go to
for sure.
therapy, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
both sides.
Like, I'm all up in my feelings 100% of the time.
And that's good. It's okay.
It's,
Like, it's good to have feelings. And
yes, good to
acknowledge
have
them.
feelings, but you need to maintain control of your feelings, especially when a big one is anger. That's one you definitely need to keep
100%
under wraps, and put away.
You don't want to pop a motherfucker.
Yeah. You're not trying to. Hey, your anger's falling out. No. Let's put that little booger up.
Yeah,
but I also think a lot of it is okay. So you want to know some hot takes? Okay. And it's going to be even hotter because I'm a white man saying this, right?
You're white? What the
just
fuck?
Just because you tell jokes that revolve around stereotypes doesn't mean you're racist. Like, I think that is a big mindset that's changed. Like, if I were to make a offhanded, joke or comment, whatever, that was systemically taboo, that doesn't mean I'm racist.
Well, I think there's a lot of comedians like Andrew Schultz and there's a lot of people who successfully make jokes about stereotypes of
yes,
races.
but they're comedians. I am talking about individuals.
Yeah,
who like okay, in the workplace, if you were to make an observation about a stereotype, you are going to be labeled a racist
and probably fired.
Matt's making his HR case live on LazyThinkerShow.
That's right.
It's like, I think if you say something at work.
I mean, not really. There's
only one works for it.
There's only one of my sets of beliefs that could or would get me in trouble, and I avoid it like the plague.
What is it?
I don't go to certain locations, and you know that.
Don't go to certain locations? Wait, what do you mean?
Like job locations.
Yeah, like store numbers. There's certain
store
ones I go to.
Oh, because
of the people there.
Oh, I could cancel him right now before we even get started.
He really could.
People of color.
It's more than that, Tristan. It's more than that.
Call me offline, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he will. And you know what? I'm just such a nice guy that I'm not going to go there right now. But it's there, and we all know.
Oh, trust me, I've heard Matt say the darndest things. It's because I do.
I'm a work in progress.
I feel like a lot of jokes, you can kind of push the line there. Once again, like Matt said earlier, we're white dudes. So, I mean, our little stance on it's a little weird. Obviously, we're all like, it's just a little joke. But
okay, but they can make honky and cracker jokes, and
cracker is not nearly as offensive as like the N-word or like like those others.
So first of all, I didn't know we were immediately matching those guests to the N-word.
There's more stereotypes that are almost every other stereotype is more offensive than cracker. That's not that bad.
Says you.
Are you offended when someone calls you a cracker?
So when I was growing up, trailer trash really even though I never grew up in a trailer, right? Like trailer trash would literally I had a dude call me trailer trash when I was 18 at a job site. I got kicked off that job site because we fought. We physically fist fought.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But I get it, right? I get how slang, derogatory slang can trigger an emotional response. I'm not saying that, these people who get called, these names and they're atrocious, right? And what they stand for are atrocious. I'm not saying they're not. But at the same time, a stereotypical joke is a joke. It's just that. I shouldn't have to be a comedian to be able to tell a joke in an open forum.
Yeah, you have to really pick your crowd, right?
Hit us with the joke, Matt. I want race involved, all of it.
No.
Yeah, hit us with a racist joke right now.
I already told you I'm not going Phil Robertson.
Well, did you see I made a slightly a racism joke on the podcast last episode. It was pretty good.
He
Jacob
did.
didn't get it and didn't laugh, and I looked like a damn
Well,
fool.
I did. I misheard, and then you repeated it, and then it was funny. Okay. Patrick heard it and didn't laugh, so that's worse.
It's always funnier when you hear it the first time, though.
No, it's true. Basically, Tristan, I was asking him. We were talking about Twitter and Elon, and everyone's kind of talking about like how like Elon's just letting everything fly. So you're just seeing more like blatant racism and all that shit on there. And I was asking Tristan if there's more on there. He's like, actually, I don't really see as much anymore because I don't tweet as much. It was a good joke. It was a good joke.
Okay, and then here's my question. I'm gonna ask a question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an example of these racist tweets.
I mean, just literally people calling for like the death of Jewish people and white power, white supremacy. I mean, there's just
okay. So then here's a question.
I'm not on Twitter that
for
much.
you.
I just see like Tristan's on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account anymore.
Oh, so this is what Tristan's twittering.
Yeah. Tristan is tweeting all this racist stuff.
Maybe don't go that far, right, Tristan? So here's like, okay. So then here's my question: if someone is going the opposite way, right? And being derogatory towards Caucasians or something like that, or Christians, is it as offensive? Or because they are not a minority, because they are considered a majority, right? Even though it's not like it's a landslide anymore.
Yeah. I would say that I think it's just as
I'm not asking your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I am saying mainstream wise. If we're looking at mainstream information, like, is it not systemically, and this is beyond you and I, like, right? This is so far beyond us. It's okay.
You're talking about like DEI type stuff.
It's literally almost a level of subconscious like guilt, right? Like, we'll accept it. It's okay.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I don't get offended by the derogatory. We'll sticking to jokes. I don't get offended by derogatory jokes, really at all. Really, because I mean, white people have been the ones throwing the punches for, pretty much the entirety of our history, and so when there are derogatory jokes being made about white people, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's not really a big deal to me. But yeah, I think just making statements about a specific group of people in any capacity is wrong, and I don't think it should be encouraged to happen against white people. Hot take, but I don't think I think that it's minorities have taken so much of the brunt of the bullshit for so long that I think it's like it's not that big of a deal, What?
He's texting.
Yeah, I think that there's just
what is he texting?
not
you?
a lot of.
What
I
the
was texting
what are you guys
Patrick 'cause
texting each other?
He texted me.
I can't talk to him, so I text him and stuff. But anyway,
What did you say?
I just said, "Hey, I miss him."
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay, guys, I'm trying to be serious here for a minute. Can we do that for a second?
Yes.
Sorry, Tristan. Yeah, sorry, we're not being serious enough.
Yeah, I just think that they're with white people. There's great. Now I don't even remember what I was gonna say. So thanks for that, guys. Just had to bring up Patrick.
Find it again. Find it
Just let me
again.
talk.
Say it.
I think that there's just not for us. It's just I've lived as a white dude for at least half of my life, minimum, and I've never had that feeling. It just hasn't been put on me that like any white, like I don't know how to say it, like oh, I feel bad. People are kind of being mean to me because I'm white, or I have this problem because I'm white. Like my race hasn't really been a factor of anything while growing up. It's just kind of that just happened to be the case. And I think that's just the big thing with minorities is their whole life is around these horrible things in recent history that's happened, or even farther history. It's kind of something that their whole lives they have to deal with, and they experience things in the real world that they do have with race problems that we won't experience. And it's easy to be all like, yeah, well, because like Matt grew up poor, and he had, like the trailer trash bullshit. Like, he had hardships, and it sucks when that's belittled. He feels like he's also, like, his problems are just nothing just because he's white. And you hear the white privilege thing, and Matt will be like, where the fuck was my privilege whenever I was white trash? Like, I get that part and all that.
Still waiting on the privilege card.
The what?
You need to look, just like, we need to look for God. You need to look for your privilege and the things that it has gotten you in your entire life. Okay.
Sir, I think you're confusing privilege with blessings.
One and the same.
No.
One and the same.
Oh, I love the French laugh.
That was good. That was
privilege is not blessings.
That was deep. Before we wrap it up, Matt.
I wish I could smell better. It's just so sad. Hold on, let me try something. Y'all keep going. It's gonna be a minute. Y'all keep going.
Okay. It's like you just left. Damn.
Fade to black.
Yeah. So, if there was one question, what's one question you wish I would have asked you, and how would you have answered it?
Kind of question is that?
What's on your mind? What's at the top of your mind that you wish I would have asked you about?
Are you ever going to get any sleep again?
You know what? I've actually been getting some pretty good sleep the last month or so.
Oh, y'all keep being. I saw y'all's little short. Y'all keep being those smart Alex.
We knew that we were going to eat our words. I know that sleep regression is going to kick in.
All of it.
She's about to be 4 months old now. She's been
not
sleeping
even mobile. She's
I know.
Still a potato.
I know. We were just giving our 2-month update. Okay. You watch most of my content, but you're my biggest hater, I think, out of everyone. That's not true, actually.
And you can't get better without constructive criticism. And I feel like, honestly, even first of all, I don't criticize that often.
I'm just messing with you. You don't
ever.
Yeah.
And when I do, it's completely constructive. Like,
yeah. You give me good feedback. I was just messing with you. But yeah, I just, that's that. Hey, Tristan.
Hey.
Dang, it's still bright outside.
It's crazy. Summertime's here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was I saying? It was just to finish that thought. But she's been sleeping through the night for the last month or so. Like we'll put her in her bassinet at like 10-ish, and then she doesn't wake up until like 5 or 6. So we were very lucky on that right now.
That's money, dude.
We know it's not going to last, but we're just going to take advantage of it when we have it.
You can't say that. Like my little brothers slept all the way through the night.
Sorry, we're getting some. We're hearing us on your speaker. Hold on. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, that's better.
There we go.
That's way better. Okay.
I didn't think of the wind. The wind's probably a problem, huh?
We can't hear it.
I hear the birds chirping.
Yeah.
You sound like a Disney movie right now.
Hey, knock it off, Matt.
I just came at you. You were saying something? What were you saying?
There's that devil Disney too.
Devil Disney. We're not even going to go down that road right now. Or Taylor. We didn't even touch on Taylor Swift. Damn, I didn't have that in my notes today.
She's the devil.
Yeah.
Taylor
that
Swift's
shit
the devil?
Crazy, Matt. That shit crazy.
No,
Call
she's
me
just
whatever you
she's
want.
a little white girl.
What'd you say?
She's a little white girl. She's a little loco. Hmm?
She's
A little crazy white girl.
His girlfriend Julie is what you would call a Swiftie.
Oh yeah,
Very big
is
fan.
she one of those crazy people that would have spent $8,000 on tickets to go see her? That's crazy.
General, I mean, it was an expensive tour, but the average ticket wasn't $8,000.
No, I'm talking about the scalped ones though that people were buying.
Oh yeah, but that
because
wasn't
all
on
the
her.
scalpers-
That was because of that's just the ticketing industry.
I'm saying that, but people paid that.
Oh yeah.
People paid that.
How much did Julie spend on her Taylor Swift tickets?
I think it was like 200
Each.
Yeah, but I didn't go.
Where was it at?
NRG, I think. It was like a Houston concert.
And were those nosebleeds?
No.
Where was she?
Oh, those were so 200 got really good seats.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So she paid 200, but she was all the way up in the nosebleeds.
Wait, are those called nose? I don't know what a nosebleed is.
Nosebleeds are the shittiest seats all the way in the back.
Oh, no, she wasn't all the way in the back. She was like, but she was pretty far back, yeah, but not like the worst of the worst. I thought because you were so close, you'd get hit in the face, so you get a nosebleed.
But I have no
That's actually a pretty good guess, honestly. Though.
I have no perception over that, right? Like I remember I bought scalped Oasis tickets back in like 1999 or something like that for Verizon Wireless for $100 a piece, and they were floor tickets, so we were up like at the front. But I remember us paying $100 for scalped tickets was insane. When we told our parents how much we paid for tickets, they were pissed.
I spent $250 on 2 21 Pilots tickets this summer in September. Not even great seats either. Their tour is crazy expensive.
I've never bought concert tickets.
Yeah, this is my first time buying them myself. I don't really go to concerts that often.
I've been to a bunch of concerts.
The only concert I've ever been to is 21 Pilots. This is my 4th time seeing them.
Oh yeah, I've seen Blink-182, Green Day, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional, My Chemical Romance.
That's a good lineup. Good shit. I went to a festival.
Zombie,
I saw
Manson, Slipknot.
Yeah, you out. Match me.
I also grew up in the concert era, right?
You know he's peeing, right? Hey, Tristan, your mic wasn't muted on that one.
Oh, my bad.
Live on air.
Tristan taking a piss.
I'm actually dead.
Yeah, I guess there's no better note to end on. Matt, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally made this happen. Yeah, come on anytime. If there's a specific thing you want to talk about, something that's on your mind, come on. Tristan, you can come to our set and you could just join like a fun show. Like I'll just have topics. We can all just breeze through topics. It doesn't have to be like an interview type setting.
I'd actually be down. I just, I'm not gonna. I don't know how much fun I'll be.
You can have fun as a Christian, Matt. It's okay.
Well, I know, but I don't tell tasteless fart jokes and cuss a whole bunch.
He didn't like Josh's fart.
Yeah, because for some reason I feel like that's the microphone I'm using right now.
It is.
Trust me, he's been getting so much shit for farting on the mic. That's the I mean, dare I say he's canceled for it? Did Josh get canceled off T-Gold for
wouldn't you have to make it to be canceled first?
This motherfucker.
What are you talking about? We're the best podcast. What are you talking about?
Wait, who gave Josh shit?
Me and everyone who watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude literally put a microphone ball in his butt crack and farted.
Yeah. We immediately were like, that's just not your mic, Josh. He's just so used to just recording on ours, I guess.
Is that why you guys didn't record an episode this week?
Yeah, we're just fighting. It might break up the band. It might just be one guy, one light bulb.
Yeah, you gotta lay low for a minute, let the heat die down.
No, we tried to record, and it was just a whole lot of nothing. So we were just all like, okay, we just won't put anything out then because that was terrible. But Josh is hard to find a time to record because he's a dude. He just kind of does podcasts for fun sometimes. So he just has a very small window to do it for some reason. But we'll get there. We'll get one out again.
I gotcha. Yeah, I like the style.
I said Patrick will be there to help and stuff.
Yeah, Patrick has been a real MVP throughout this whole thing. Real MVP.
Yeah, Patrick's goated. Patrick's great. I love the last episode for sure. It was fantastic looking.
Yeah, you did good. Let's wrap it up. Tristan, I actually didn't know if you were going to join the episode, but I'm really happy you did.
Me too.
I'm happy you called in.
Yeah.
It was good
I would have
seeing you.
came in person, but really, works late because she actually has a job, unlike me.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Your friend could have come and picked you up too, so it's a failure on his behalf also.
It was out of the way. Just wasn't in the cards today.
P.S. He sent me his location from the Woodlands, so
Tristan
not sure where you live, Tristan.
He's in Willis. Tristan is in Willis. It's the opposite direction. I was stuck
or
on
you could have gone home.
I had to go to
him up on your way back.
I'm going to close the episode, then we'll finish this conversation.
Yeah.
But everyone, thank you for watching. Matt, thank you for coming. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything? I know you were just on a podcast recently.
So I was.
Is TikTok?
Matt's TikToks. Yeah, he's a TikTok star now.
No. I mean, yes, I have a TikTok, but I'd hardly call it a TikTok star. And it's Grounds for Conversation. Also, One Loud Voice podcast.
Nice. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Adios. Penis.
Enos. Oh, fireworks! Where did those come from?